I will totally enjoy responding to this video, absolutely. But I need to just rewind it back to the start because the last minute and a half will probably end up being a lot of stuff on me that's not true. For instance, what I just heard in the last 20 seconds there was that nobody will employ me and nobody would need me for anything. Half true, of course. I mean, who the hell wants to employ somebody who's going to start talking about intersex shit, you know? That's true. But on the other level of, oh God, you have no clue. You man, have no clue about me at all. It's unbelievable. Your video here, of course, Klinefelters syndrome is a disease. It absolutely is not a disease. It might be a dis-ease, but it's certainly not a disease. The way you're talking there, that it gives you osteoporosis and heart disease, and that you can die from Klinefelter syndrome. It's scaring the shit out of young people and people who haven't a clue as well. You're trying to freak them out that they'll discover that Klinefelter is a disease, and then automatically think that they're going to contract that disease from somebody else who has XXY. You must be joking me. Stop misinforming the public. It's absolutely disgraceful what you do. Actually, your whole channel is just concentrated on other people. It's unbelievable. So you don't want to watch yourself. Maybe look in the mirror occasionally, and stop looking in the mirror and thinking that you're the bee's knees and you're absolutely gorgeous. You're an old man and you're getting older and you look terrible and you talk terrible. Let's be clear on a few things here. I said to you a few years ago, you have met your match. I tell you, you're meeting the match now, me back and my drugs, so you're fucked now. So just be careful with yourself and the statements that you make yourself. Klinefelter syndrome is a condition, okay? It's a genetic situation. It's not a disease. A disease in this day and age, if something is a disease, most people think that they're going to catch it. Therefore, don't use the word disease, even if the encyclopedia of medical information says that it is a disease. The medical books also describe Klinefelters as being millions of things that we're not, especially not as a whole, as a 100%. Every person in the population of that has those symptoms. You must be joking. So again, as I say, try your best not to go off topic for a start. Keep on topic. Let's talk about Klinefelters. Let's talk about what it is and what it isn't, what we are and what we aren't, rather than your opinion is all end all. That's what I said to you when I first met you. You think that your opinion is greater than everybody else's because of your age and because you know science, And then I said that fantastic sentence of, you keep your opinions and I'll keep my opinions. And you took that as me telling you to shut up. No, I never told you to shut up. I actually never told you fuck all things that I should have told you because I'm too fucking nice. Yeah, there you go. And that's why I do get on in society and you don't. So let's be clear, man. Yeah, be fucking clear yourself. I'm going to play this video back. Who would say that? What a funny thing to say, okay. What a weird thing to say. Very strange thing to say. How many different sentences do you want to... You say that Nicky repeats himself. Yeah, in the first 9 seconds of this video, you've said 4 sentences of the same meaning. Just be clear on yourself, alright? Thanks, buddy. Klinefelter syndrome is not in itself a disease. No, it's not. You want to bet? Yeah. Calling me an idiot. Fair enough. As bad as Nicky the Bigot, but you're as bad as Nicky the Bigot with repeating yourself in the first 9 seconds of this video 4 times to say the same thing. That's mad, that's weird, that's strange. Idiot. Why would I say that Klinefelters isn't a disease? Okay, that's a first question from you. Because, as I said already, people are coming in on this and they're discovering that Klinefelters is a disease. They're obviously going to be thinking themselves on the level of AIDS and stuff like that they're going to catch it, and it's a bit scary for children to be going into school at 7 or 8, 9 years old, going into school and having to explain to their peers that they've got a disease. It doesn't go down well. They shouldn't have to do it. You shouldn't have to, perpetuate that one. That's ridiculous. It doesn't have to be called a disease, but you like it because it's very negative sounding. I understand that. I understand you. big time. And I understand your negativity and your addiction to negativity, absolutely. And your addiction to arguments. I'm back to take you on again, basically. Klinefelter syndrome is a serious disease that can kill you eventually. That's what you've just said in this video. Bullshit. That's absolutely non-true. It can't kill you. The condition can't kill you. The things that you get from lacking in certain things that aren't produced naturally in the body can eventually deteriorate your health, and then that leads to death. Yeah, but did you say that? No. So you're misinforming people, you're scaring people unnecessarily as usual, and I'd like the public to realise how bad you are, and then of course how good I am. But there you go, that's blowing my own trumpet, isn't it? It can cause heart disease. How can it cause heart disease? Questions back. Thrombosis, lupus, okay. You're struggling now for breast cancer, Struggling now for another one. Osteoporosis, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's a disease, alright. So from all of that, you're stating it's a disease from all of that. It can cause heart disease, lupus, thrombosis, osteoporosis. See, I'm naming them off now from my memory that I've just heard from you. Although I have missed one, I can't remember the last one. But you have to struggle to get 4 examples of stuff that is supposedly relating to why it's a disease. It's not. It's not at all describing why Klinefelters is considered as a disease. So why don't you start to explain that? You love that similar. You love that word, don't you? Because it's quite difficult to say. I don't even bother trying to say it. It doesn't even make sense. If you're telling a child seminiferous tuberculosis, the child would go, huh? So you need words that are actually making sense, because you go around the streets talking in that language, nobody's going to understand you, only the scientists themselves. And actually, even if you went to a doctor, probably wouldn't understand you either. Yes, this Williams textbook of endocrinology is absolutely your Bible, isn't it? But yet, if I was to look into that book, I'm sure that I'd find a lot of errors that have no significance to today. Yet, like the Bible, a lot of old words trying to be used in a modern way. It doesn't work. Doctors don't write up medical conditions that are not diseases. Doctors vary, and you can't generalize. But there you go. You always do. We go to doctors for them to treat us our diseases. No, we don't. Not our diseases, but our diseases. Oh yeah. We go to our doctors to help us be put at ease, so that we don't have any more dis-ease. Yeah, that's true. But there's 2 different meanings there with disease and dis-ease. A brilliant person called Louise L. Hay said that very clearly in one of the books, and I couldn't agree more with it, because the actual word disease actually scares the living shit out of people just by saying it. Not everybody, but most people get a bit irked by that word and freaked out, So just, we need to find better language use, and of course any medical book generally doesn't talk that way. It talks in a very matter-of-fact, non-personal, we're going to die now, kind of way. So I think it should be changed. Okay. XXY. Okay, good question. If Klinefelter syndrome is not considered a disease, then what the fuck is it? Is exactly your quote to me, or to anybody, but I bet you it's to me. Because who else listens to you? Yeah. And I don't mind listening to you. Really don't mind listening to it. In fact, I'd like to commend you and thank you for being on the internet and making yourself available, as I said already in a few videos before, to you and also to the 47XXY's channel, which is back up again. That's great. We need more of that, you know. And also to try Harold, another XXY in there, doing stuff and talking about XXY issues. Very important, really important. But I'd like to say to Kiwi here that you've done a good service. You know, you haven't done an excellent service, but you've done a good service to do your best, which is what we see on all your channels. You do your best, and I mean, I won't give you too much discouragement. I think your best isn't good enough, but you could do better. You could be nicer. You could be more factual, rather than opinionated and hot under the collar, angry through your tone of voice. You could be all those things, but I'm not your master. Therefore, I can't rule you. I can't tell you what to do. But you could get, you know, turn the corner and change your attitude. It'd be brilliant. And I think then it could be brilliant for the general population of the world. But at the moment, you're putting people off. Look at the views you get in the channels from. You know, you have to wait a day to get 7 or 8 views on your video, and I bet you 2 of those views are you looking at yourself. You said, why do doctors continue to treat it? Oh, that's a great question. Another question is, why do not all doctors screen every single baby when they're born so that they actually fucking know what sex they are when they're fucking born? That would be brilliant too, wouldn't it? That would be brilliant. Like, you talk about doctors as if they're like the is-all, end-all of the world. I mean, let's be clear here. Most doctors haven't a fucking clue, you know, if you look in the little books even, but most of them don't even look in the little book to check what drug they should give the person, because they want to come across as if they know everything, such as yourself, which is why you'd be a brilliant doctor, just fucking sitting there going and, you know, waffling on to people about what you think they are. But I'm sorry, you don't have the qualifications, social qualifications or any qualifications to actually do what you think you're good at doing. You're crap at doing that. You're crap at support, and you're crap at really making a good video like that I should respond to. And thank you for making this only 4 minutes. Jesus, couldn't be bothered watching your waffle for too long. And here, a 15-minute video from me. Let's see what happens here. Okay, it's getting personal now in the 2-minute mark. There's no point continuing, and that's what I'll be doing. By the way, I won't be listening to any more crap from you, but I will be dealing with your crap that you throw in others. I am your internet police person. You're fucked, plainly fucked. The fact that I'm on your trail, boy. Yeah, and you're in deep shit because your abuse, essentially, of people who are sensitive to you. You know, your abuse of those people will not continue for very much longer, because I am in the middle of conditioning you into being a better person. Alright. So subtly as we go, good luck and have fun in your new self, because it's coming. Ciao.